Hello, this is Hazelnut Farms. This is my Salmon and Shanty Boys map creations. 32.52 megabyte for the map. Really? Don't get me wrong, it's not one of those maps where you think, yeah, there's not a lot on it either. It only been 32 megabyte. That is alright indeed, I must admit. Now, it's got the premise of being set in Western Kentucky. So that's where we're going. America. Right, fair enough, no problem. Now, if you're coming on New Farmer, you're going to be using 960 slots, which you can imagine, obviously, a lot of that is down to the small map size. We'll roll that anyway. Now, obviously, you're going to be coming on New Farmer. You're going to be owning a bit of land as well. And it's not what you'd imagine. So you've got your start house over here. You've got your sleep trigger. Great, no problem. You've also got field 1 over the road. But your actual start farm is down here. And it's not what you think either. You own field 27. You also own the land 90. So if we click on the land, there we are. You own all that. I mean, you got a bit of logging on the go there, which is all right. But you don't own any of the other fields. I mean, obviously, where your start farm equipment is, you don't own that either. Right, fair enough. Now, there is a few interesting little sections, especially at the top. We've got these 4 fields. Number, well, we've got 13, 14, 15, and 16. They're round. So if you've got that, what was it? The fertilizer, the one that goes around in a circle, you could use that on here. No problem. But you've also got these 2 numbers here. You've got field 16, which is the actual field, and then area number 60, which is the bits around it. So you're going to have to buy the extra bits if you wanted to go out past the field. But the good thing about that is you can. So we've got like 88 there. It's going to be buying that whole area. Out of that whole area, 71 down here. You could pretty much buy the whole map. I think the riverbanks are a bit of a stretch, but apart from that, more or less you can buy it all, which is all right indeed. Now, obviously behind us is going to be our start farm, house, whatever. We have got somebody. You right? You sat outside my house. Stood outside with it. Yeah, okay, carry on. Carry on indeed. We have got this here. We've got some collectibles. Let's click on that. We've got 10 grand. Grain Elevator Museum is missing some parts of its interior. There we are. 10 grand, job's a good one. What about that little boat? Is that a... That's not a collectible, but I like that. Little paper boat. Alright, fair enough. And obviously you got your sleep trigger just there. Have we got a wardrobe trigger? Let's have a little mooch around the back. And we've got this random tank in the back garden, but okay, fair enough. We ain't got wardrobe trigger there, down this. There we are, by the back door. Job's a good one. Although, to be fair, I don't think this building shenanigans would fly in the UK. There's no defined boundary line. Where's your fence? Your neighbours be coming over and taking on me Yorkshire tea every day. Well, couldn't be having that. Alright, fair enough, right, we'll carry on. So obviously you got your field over the road. I mean, you have got ditches as well. You need to keep an eye out for, and some of them have actually got cropping for some reason. If we go back into the map, you see all these bits here. They've actually got cropping. So look this up. There we are. So we've got random wheat on the edge of the field. We've also got a random football in the field. Okay. Where's that ball gone? There it is. Can we kick it? Can we pick it up? Yes, we can. All right. Don't know who's left a football in my field, but all right, fair enough. It is what it is. We'll chuck it over there. There we are. I mean, I've got this little shed here as well. I mean, you could potentially put a pallet or 2 there. I mean, you might be able to back in your pickup truck, but all right, fair enough. Right, we're going to go over to the actual start farm, because obviously this is where your sleep trigger is, but the actual start farm is over here. And what I do find strange about this little start farm is you've got our sleep trigger down the road, but we've actually got this house right here. Why don't you put a sleep trigger there? Alright, fair enough. Now, I say start farm. I'm going to use that term loosely because it's a shed. Let's face it. There's all your equipment in there. I mean, we have got this cow pasture just here. So we're going to come down here, buy our tanker. That's ready to go. Put some water in there. We've got some cows in already, as you can see. Let's have a little look. How many have we got? click on that there. There we are. So 31 out of 31. That cow pasture is full. Might want to sell those off. I mean, entirely up to you. So you got your wardrobe. Well, you got wardrobe trigger. You got water input there, and obviously your feed goes into there as well. 31 cows. All right, fair enough. Now, obviously we've seen all the equipment that we start with. So what do we get on New Farmer? Well, we've got the Abbey 1600, the Albert Bale Spike, the Albert Manure Fork, the Flegel Noah TTW 140, the Flegel Schmetterling, the Great Plains Solid Stand 1500, the International Series 200, the John Deere 3650, the John Deere 663R, the RA 142, the New Holland Pro Belt 165, the Passenger Alpine Hit 4.4H, the Passenger Servo 25, the Salic RZK 300H, the Samaz Z2 840H, and the Vermeer TM 1410. What I want to do, there's something on this map I think's ace. So we're gonna have a little trundle down there. And well, to be fair, one of them is this here. What have we got? Is that a giant pile of silage? Yeah, no, that's the old feeder wagon. It's that giant pile of silage. There's a couple of these knocking around the map as well. You got some stones, you got some what looks like something else anyway. And we've got this one here, giant pile of hay as well. All right, fair enough. I mean, you're not going to be stuck for feeding your animals straight away. That's all right. But that's not the thing. That's not the thing that we're going to go take a look at. And we've got more crops down by the old dip. There we are. Dear, oh dear. All right, fair enough. So we're going to take a right down here and then hook a left. Because we've seen this feature before. But never in this manner. Never in this fashion. I mean, this ditch got some water in as well. So I'm wondering if you could actually bring a trailer down. I mean, that is not going to be AI worker friendly. We'll just say that. You might want to do these fields. If you own these, do them yourself. It's probably a better idea without getting your tractors stuck or your harvester stuck. Because you know what the AI is like. They're going to bin it in the drink 100%. But what we've got over here, we got a couple of barges. We'll say that. Now, yeah, we got the barge on with Ben Springs. You know, it's not something new. And obviously that's great. So this barge goes across the river, you know, pull your vehicle on, job's a good one, and takes you there. But we got, as well as we've got this boat, we've got this second barge. And it doesn't just go across the river. It actually goes a bit further. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump on, and I'm going to show you where it takes us. Yeah, we've got a bit of a problem. Oh no, we're okay. No, we're not. We're going to be pushed off. We're going to be pushed off. What the hell? That could be a bit of an issue. Oh no, and we're off. We're off. The ferry goes for miles, but you can't. If the boat comes the other way, you're screwed. Let's face it. And now I'm in the water. Right, let's get to dry land. Can we get back on here? No, we can't. That other boat coming through the lock, which is awesome, I must admit. Yeah, that might need a little bit of a tweak. Because if a boat goes through the lock and you're on the ferry, especially if you've got like a tractor or a trailer full of grain and it's going to go in the water, you're done. You're done. But basically, it came from all the way down there, up this river, through this lock, which I think's ace, and it's going to be docking just there. Dear. You left me behind, bruv. You've left me behind. Right, we'll carry on. We'll carry on anyway. Right, so we're going to come up to this one over here. So it's going to be a sell point for you. So this is Willie's. Obviously, bring your stuff up here. Not a problem. Next door to that is going to be a production facility. Actually, we're going to hook a right around here. Because we've actually got another one just up in the top right-hand corner of the map. We'll take a little jog in the morning sunshine because I need to dry off after being pushed off the ferry, off the barge by that other boat. Oh, I'm all wet, dripping. Right, we'll carry on. So around here is going to be a production chain. This is going to be your bakery. So you've got your loading in point, you've got your pallet spawn point just there, and your production chain menu is just here. So 50 grand to buy on that one. And we're going to come back around. But what I will say, if you see where the cursor is, in the bottom left-hand corner there, right on 83, we can actually buy this whole land. Plenty of trees knocking around, plenty of houses for you to be potentially doing like a start from scratch. Just avoid the ferry. If you want to keep your stuff dry. We'll say that. I'd imagine that's going to get an update at some point. So over here, we've got a facility, got production chains, got your loading in point just there. We've got our pallet spawn point just here. And we've got our production chain menu just there. So that's going to be your oil mill, 240 grand. And then around the corner here is going to be a fuel station. Let's see how much they're charging, actually. And let's see if it's a decent price. It's nothing. Alright. Free petrol? I doubt it. Doubt it very much. Now again, we'll come over to this area. Loads of houses. Loads of houses for you to be picking one up, put your sleep trigger down, that sort of thing. And again, area 84, all these different areas, you can pretty much buy the whole map. You can just go for whichever one you want to do. I mean, it's going to cost you 150 grand. If you want to set up and put some money in that way, you're golden. You're golden indeed. Now, we've got another production chain just here. So we need to go around the other side, actually. Oh, it's a big building. It's a big building. Could this be a sawmill for us? We've got the... Is the ferry even docked yet? Yes, it has. No, it hasn't. It's still coming in. It took ages to get going. And then it knocked me off. Dear, oh dear. It's still not even... We had a little look around the top end and it's still coming in. It's not the quickest way of getting around the map, we'll just say that. So you've got your pallet spawn point just there. We'll come up here. You've got a little bit of storage in there if you wanted to. Alright, fair enough. You've got your loading in point just here. And we'll come around here. And we're going to try and find... Actually, where's the production chain menu? Did I just walk past it? I mean, there's a good chance. Sometimes these icons just blend in. Especially if it's sunny. You just can't see him. Is it round this side? No. There's got to be one here somewhere. Come on, show your face. Where's the production chain menu? Not in there. So what's the sign say? Johnson and Sons. Johnson or one of his sons. Where's the production chain menu? See what I mean? It was right there. You can hardly see that. I mean, up against the door there. Right, let's buy this door anyway. So we'll click on that. So 288 grand. That's your grain mill. Right, we'll move on. We'll leave Johnson & Sons to it in their very bright door. We'll carry on again. So we're still in that area 84. So if you fancy putting your sleep trigger down at any one of these places, you're good to go. Now over here is going to be your farmer's market. So obviously you drop your stuff off, you drop your pallets off there. Everything's going to fill up once you're loading your goods in, which is all right. Then you've got your loading in point for your loose croppage. We call it that anyway. And we'll come around here and we've got a cement factory. So you got your pallet spawn point just there. We'll come into here. I've seen the trigger on this one. There we are. That's going to cost you 370 grand to buy. And then here, around there, like that. There we are. It's going to be your loading in point for your stones. And then next door to that is another facility around the corner here. There we are. You've got your loading in point just there. It's saying the icon on the map is a production chain. You've got your pallet spawn point just here. And then the old blue dwarf. There's your production chain menu. Right, click on that. That's going to be your cannon factory. 330 grand. And I've just bought it. Why did I buy that? Didn't want to buy that. All right, we'll carry on anyway. 330 grand. That's your cannon factory. Right, we're going to carry on. We're going to come across to this area over here. Now, this is a strange shaped field. We'll go back into the map there. It's a heart-shaped field. And on the mod description, on the old Mod Hub website, it says the modders would like to dedicate this to his father. I can only assume that potentially you've lost your father, and I'm sorry for your loss. I hope I do this map tour justice for you. So we'll carry on. There is a couple of heart-shaped things knocking around the map. So you will see him. So go and give a bit of love. Right, no problem. So over the road from the heart-shaped field, we've got the animal dealer. So we'll come over here like that. And it's this big building, let's face it. And it's one of those that's got the old live animals in. I do like an animal dealer. You can see what you're buying. That's always good. So you've got your animal dialogue box just there. You then got your bale sell point just here. Then out around the back, you can have a few different pens knocking around. I mean, it look like they've had a sale. It's not a lot going on around here, mind you, but okay. We're going to get around the corner. There we are. So you've got our sheep in that field. You've got your buy point for your manure. You've also got your buy point for your slurry over there. Got some horses if you wanted to buy some. I like it. I like it when the old animals are in the fields. Always makes it look better. Now, we're going to come across to this area up the top. Just like the two patches we've seen down by our start farm shed, we've got these basically knocking around in most corners. Giant piles of stuff. I mean, this looks like it could be stone. No, it's got a yellow tinge to it. Or it could just... No, it's a nice bright day. There's something here anyway. And you've got the same... If we go down to the bottom right-hand corner... Well, you've got bottom left-hand corner. No, got nothing. Bottom right-hand corner, there is a pile of something. Now, that does actually look like stones. So you could buy those areas if you wanted to and have away at it. You've got plenty of stock to be getting on with. All right, fair enough. Right, we'll carry on then. We are going to come down to this area here. So this is going to be the main vehicle shop for you. So you've got your shop menu just there. And then next to that is going to be your main vehicle workshop area. So you've got your spanner there. Obviously, pull your stuff in. Jobs are good. And just up here, by the calf, I'm liking that calf. I must admit, we've got another little tribute to the modder's father. Oh, I've gone the wrong way, have I? Oh, here we go. Just here. Come there, like that. That's nice. I like that. What's in the middle? A little bit of a barbecue? Fair enough. I like that. That is nicely done, I must admit. I must admit indeed. Right, so next door to the old shop, as you could well imagine, if you're picking up a new vehicle and your dealer's been a little bit tight with the money, you might need to put some fuel in it. Yeah. I mean, normally if you buy a new vehicle, do they come with a full tank of gas, full tank of petrol, diesel, whatever you're calling it? I would imagine so if you're paying a tidy sum, but there's a fuel station here anyway. Still not charging anything, but we'll carry on. We'll carry on indeed. Right, we're going to carry on. We're going to come down. We have actually got another barge here. I'm not going to use that one. It is just there. So you've got the two barges there, and we've got the one barge here. We're actually going to come down to this area here. Now, what this is basically, I'm going to call it a mini quarry. Because now we have got stones here. And look, it goes down. Dig your way out. This is all going to be sellable. Yeah. Yes, indeed. You could be making a tidy profit. There's a load of stones here. Absolute ton of it. Right. And again, like previously said, you could buy Area 68. Click on that. There we are. 362 grand. I reckon you make your money back selling the stones on there. And then as well, you got all these houses you could put a sleep trigger by. Indeed. Right, we'll carry on then. We're going to come across to this area up here. So we've got a couple of different things here. So first up is your grain barge sell point. Is that the one that knocked me in the water? It's a good chance it's coming the right way anyway. So you load your stuff into there. Obviously, it sells it off. Job's a good one. Then next door to that is going to be a buy point for your lime. Then we're going to carry on down the road a touch. Now, all these little areas you could potentially buy as well. So you don't need to go mad with a giant area. Yeah, you've got little fields like this. Is that little field 55? Yeah, all right. Fair enough. So next door to that is going to be a silo. So you've got your loading in point, taking out point just there. This one is actually called... Click on that. No, not that. Come on. And again. No, we don't want to click on the area. We want to click on the thing. We'll zoom right in. That's better. That's it. Grain West Silo. That being said, it's a sell point. Well, it's got... Actually, no, it's got a silo icon. So you should be able to use that yourself. Like a village community project thing. Potentially. You'll have to have a look. Anyway, so next door to that is this great honking thing. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Big facility. Now, you're not going to be able to buy this. Oh, could you buy it? I mean, you've got Field 56 next to it. Potentially. Well, let's face it. It's a sell point anyway. So you come around there, and obviously you dump your stuff somewhere. There we go. Oh, the icon's around this side. Right, we'll keep on going around. So here we go. There you go. Sell point just there. Obviously, that's going to be taken out onto the barge. Let's parkour. Right, we're going out onto the barge. This could end very badly. But we're on the barge. We're on the barge that knocked me off. You there. You in there. You in there knocks me off the barge. What have you got to say for yourself? Now, before we actually get kicked off and arrested, we'll carry on. We're going to come across to this one over here. So if the other two fuel station, gas station, petrol station, whatever you want to call it, was not enough, well, we've got a third one. Still not charging anything. But okay, fair enough. Right, there's one other area I want to go and check out because I think it's ace. It's this area down here. Now this, in the middle of some trees, by a little path, we got this giant stone area. This reminded me 100% of Lion King. You could just see Mufasa holding up Simba at the top there, as he's been born. And, you know, you could do your own little role play. Do your own little Lion King reenactment. You come up the top like that. I used to like Lion King when I was growing up. One of my favouriteest films. All that the light touches. Dear, oh dear. I used to be able to recite that film from heart. Didn't even need any notes. But that was a long time ago. That's your map. And to be fair, not that bad. I mean, the fields, they're let's face it, not square. I mean, you have got this little island there, which apparently is called Hurricane Island, according to the old mod description, which you will need the barge going across, although that being said, it's only a little trip across the water. It shouldn't be that bad. But the fields themselves, some are small, some are bigger, plenty of land for you to be getting on with, plenty of trees for you to be chopping down. And let's face it, you can buy most areas of land, so all the houses that are here, you could use as a potential start farm. That is not bad at all.